Let's jump right into this. Coming to you live from the Delco, down the street from the Philadelphia. This is the Folo Fam Modulus Tautology. Right? And I'm gonna jump right into it. As you can see on the screen, I got Final Fantasy 2 on here, which is technically Final Fantasy 4. What had happened was, right, to borrow a line, I haven't watched his page in a second. There's certain YouTubers that I watch, and then if I don't click on them in a while, you know, the algorithm doesn't catch up on that. Like, yo, you ain't checked them in a while, you know, catch up on them. They rather push their narrative, which is usually, you know, the Great Lucas or FD Signifier, like people that I think I unsubscribed from both of them, you know. And is unsubscribing from them petty? Yes, it is. It is petty to unsubscribe from them because I don't have beef with them. But I know we the brothers know they game. You know, they simps, right? The pimp and the simp is detrimental to the growth of a black nation. They violate the 10th commandment like it ain't nothing, right? Then be quick to act like we need to be humble to you know, basically racism in the form of white supremacy. Like, no, why we don't have to be humble to them. Like they trying to play it as, you know, they the ones flipping the coin and acting like they don't know what we're talking about, being a part of the manosphere, right? IBMOR, intelligent black men, BM, intelligent black men of revision is what they came up with to counteract the MGTOWs, the men going their own way. But I remember when both terms first came out, and I always thought MGTOW was blithesome. That's the word I like to use. I preserve gay for the children. In fact, I say all children are gay because I'll sit there and watch them. They'll spin around. The 2 and 3 year olds will spin around and then they fall on the ground and they laugh. So, I mean, that's just childish, you know, and it's gay, right? You know, and so it's yeah. I got a 12-year-old. He be 13 soon, and he still wants to spin around and fall down and laugh, you know. And it's like, son, you can do that, but now you notice when you fall, you hit the ground harder now. You know, and you little kids only weigh 30 pounds, so that ain't, you know, 30 pounds of weight hitting the ground ain't nothing. You know, now when you over 100, close to 200 or whatever, you fall and hit the ground, you're going to hurt yourself. And therein is where do we get the balance at? At what weight do we want to naturally be at? I have to come down myself. I can't risk falling. I'm too, you know, I'm too heavy right now to really be falling. I do want to get down, but I am 6 foot, so and I do, when, you know, while I used to get real muscular when I worked out. So yeah, if I was like 225 or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, I'm Tyson in his prime, you know, is what I used to push for. But you know, that's neither here nor there, you know. But yeah, I've been on this started with a game theory, you know. That way I try to keep your attention. I don't even know if this game is going to work. Okay, this is the beginning. And it tells this tale of Cecil, and he's a dark knight that turns into a paladin. So there is the conflict of duty, you know. Here Cecil is the dark knight. Captain Cecil, we're about to arrive. Good. And then he starts off as a dark knight, Then he has a trial or something, and he becomes the White Knight, the Paladin. Um, my youngest brother, he's by law, right? But today we ready to go down there and burn the laws, right? Because they acting like they don't even want to have to follow them themselves. Talking about DC, right? So he wants to replay Final Fantasy 11. They still running it too, and it's like, yeah, you still running Final Fantasy 11? I played with 14 a little bit, but he really wants us to play 11 together, and he said he wants to be the Paladin. So I started playing 12, and just to like the three jobs. First jobs would be I'm trying to build a crew in my head, and it would be a Paladin, a Dark Knight, and a Red. And the job that I found on the Final Fantasy 12 is called a Red Battle Mage. So it's like, ew. And imagine a true Paladin, a true Dark Knight, and a true Battle Red Mage is your start of your, like that's your core 3. And then you got 3 more, like, up to 6 players is usually what Final Fantasy 11 was. You got 6 players. What's the other 3 jobs? You really don't need a black mage, white mage. You can throw a thief in there. You can throw a puppet master, all types of craziness. So the crew is asking, why are we robbing crystals from innocent people? That's our duty? Or they asking a question and then answering it with a statement. So that's where translation is kind of weird. Do we really have to keep doing this? So as crew members asking crew members, like, they showing doubt in what they're, and I guess now they showing, give us the crystals of water. The elder's like, what have we done? The crystal of your life or your life. Never. The black wizard. The black wizard had to be the one to say never, right? And this is the beauty of adventure game and what came out of Japan. Japan is known for Japanese RPGs, and they like to put a little story behind it, but they have to translate from their language into American. And one of their symbols can be the cow that jumped over the moon. Like they use a writing that's very different than what America uses in the form of English and language arts. Then take the crystal by force, right? And then the battle pursues. Wow! They're gonna kill the white mage? No, don't. Dare to defy us? How y'all gonna kill the white mage? That ain't cool. All right, take the crystal. You should have said it earlier. Then they're gonna kill the elder, huh? Ain't no joke. He's dark, right? So this is like I said, this is Final Fantasy 2 in America. There was 2 other games that came before. Like Final Fantasy 1 came on the NES, and then 2 came on the NES. Was 3 on the NES? I think so. I think 3 was on the NES, and then this was the first one on the Super NES. So this was technically number 4. 4, 5, and 6 was on the Super NES. 5 didn't come to America right away, so we got 4 and 6, but they were labeled Final Fantasy 2 and 3. It's just to catch y'all up on what happened historically, right? So, and just shows how Dark Cecil starts off the game as, and he's thinking to himself like, yo, why am I doing this? We take pride in being members of the Red Wings. Well, the Red Wings was a flying crew of blacks back in World War II, right? Looting is out of the question. Is that why he a Dark Knight in the Red Wings, I guess? Stop it. Captain, you can't stand doing this anymore. Listen, possessing the crystals is the essential factor for our prosperity. Moreover, His Majesty. Sound like Biden. You gotta hate Trump too. Right? That's where we at, right? We ain't got time for the politics no more. You know? Let's see how we can do this. Let me pause that for a second. But yeah, I'm chilling, man. I'm enjoying the day, and I'm gonna get out there and try to do some things and get the hustle on back on going again. It's kind of tough because we've been forced to start all over again, and in starting all over again, it's like, all right, where am I going to get this base cash to really get this business popping? And it's like, Kill Parker said, do it for free, volunteer. Like, come on, man. I feel like a rapper out on South Street, rapping for 40 years and with a hat on the ground. It's trying to get paid, right? But they want me to humble myself to a bunch of women going, they gods, right? Which is the most hypocritical thing that you can ask a man to do. And it's like unbeknownst to them, right? It's the same with the LGBT. Like, they're asking us to be humble to their false pride. That's basically what Biden's asking us to do for them. They can act like that's not the case while they whatever they want, because at least the Republicans are admitting that, like, yo, y'all need to humble yourselves, pointing at those people, those groups, even Black Lives Matter, you know. Y'all need to humble yourselves, but they talking about to God, whatever God that you kneel before, you know. But y'all saying y'all kneel before God and y'all humble before God, and then asking the children to be humble to y'all, and y'all being the most false pride there is on the planet. Like, nah, children should be kneeling before that false pride. You know what I mean? In fact, y'all hypocrites for asking the children to do that. So, but yeah, this is the other thing I'm trying to do. Let me see here. Am I allowed to do this? I guess, because I ain't showing actual video. This is what I've been watching. The Adventures of Da. It's like Dragon Ball Z, but it's Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is a game that I've been playing. Justice League, I've been trying to watch with the young boy. This right here, though, this is funny. Cat Williams, woke folk. The reason why it's funny is because he got the nerve to have a laugh track on it. Like, that's how bad comedy is right now. Right? I'm not saying he's corny. I'm saying is that, like, we actually have to use, and it's a good laugh track. It's definitely AI influence. But, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, we got to use laugh tracks now in order to really get our comedy going. I'm guaranteeing if you was in that crowd, yeah, it was a little bit of laughter, but it wasn't as loud as the laugh track is, you know. And that's the point. It's like he could be bombing right now, but we really don't know. And the jokes is the same. You know, it's like you only get total same jokes that you said to Shannon. You know what I mean? After that show was done, it was all right, I'm done. I'm moving on. All right. Now everybody's like, he came at everybody's neck, which was funny. You know, he started the rap battle. And it was pretty much finished by him. because now like Mike Epps ain't gonna really respond, right? Who else? There's a comedy list on there. I gotta find it because a lot of people had a bunch. They was trying to push it on me at one point when I was going on here. Godzilla -1. This is #1 already. This jumped up there real quick. $300 what? Hold up. 300 Rise of the Empire. So this is a prequel. Colors of, see, they just throw stuff on this top 10 list just to throw it on there. The Lego movie, like, come on, like, it's all right. Like, my son see it and be like, Daddy, that's that movie. And then Mario Brothers dropped down to 10. This was like #6 not too long ago. And they got the original Shrek up here. Like, all right, whatever. Top 10 movies a day. So this is, I guess, this is instant time or whatever. But none of these is really, must-watch TV to me. The Witcher was a game that I got on my PC. I never really got into it, but I don't be having time to be playing all these games. Y'all seen I just loaded 2 just to show y'all some of the backstory on it. I do want to watch this Blue-Eyed Samurai. Looks interesting. But like I said, I've been watching that Dragon Quest. The Dragon Quest is all right. It's kind of funny. See, this is the same How They Got Away with Murder. Yeah, come on, y'all wasting my time. But I think that's a Tima's favorite flick. The Get Down. I already watched all that. That's not new. So there's really nothing on here that I'm really. All right. See, I don't even know what this Unorthodox. Arranged marriage is taking the group musician. It's a lot of dramatic stuff, which kind of makes it woke. The original Dark Crystal was the truth. This is that new stuff here. I might put that on my list. I'm trying to come together with a list and see if when I have time. What should I physically watch on here? If y'all see anything, let me know. Throw it in the comment section. Hey, you got to check this out or whatever. And I'll try to get it if I got time. What is this? The Umbrella Academy. Like, you got a monkey on it. Come on, like. Some of the stuff they got on here is just weird. It's like clickbait. They got to use clickbait in order to, you know what I mean? They got the Rock in the thing. You see how Hollywood do? They got the Rock in there. Then you're the one with the problem with him having like, all right, whatever. He had to humble himself to that community to do that. That's corny. It's like you got to tell the same jokes over and over again. And whoever the first one is to tell that joke over and over again, right? Keep telling the same jokes. Tell the same joke over and over again. And that's how you gonna make your bread, right? But I get it with him. He's trying to do what Eddie was known for, being able to play multiple roles and different things. I get it. But whatever. I mean, I'm not saying y'all can't rise to the wokeness of seeing and watching these medias. That's not what I'm saying. The one that I'm about to share. Let me see if I can find it. I'm about to share this. See if I can find it real quick. Is that beat too loud? I mix it up a little bit to try to change the game. It's acting up because I'm coming out of there anyway. You know what I mean? And there it is, right? I'm gonna share this in a little bit, right? Because there it is. That's where the narrative first started, right? You got the bigot, right? Carol in the upper left-hand corner, right? He had to learn about his bigotry, Carol O'Connor, his famous character of all time, right? Is he Jewish? I guess so, huh? So, but he's playing the white Jew, right? But then they're supposed to be, non-white, right? And then Sherman Hemsley, right? The black bigot, right? Gay, right? These are the narratives they pushing. John Ritter, right? The first openly gay, right? But he wasn't openly gay, but his character, Jack Ripper, was heterosexual, but you know what I mean? Actually heteronormal because he married this other lady and had a new show, but we didn't support the show as much as we supported him pretending to be gay, right? And then I got Larry B. Scott, right? The gay nerd. And this is what Hollywood used to push the narrative of the Village People. That's why that's still a #1 song, even though it's about a Christian organization that was meant to start a fellowship of young preachers, right? To help out in the community for free, pretty much. Because that was the main goal of the YMCA. But they turned it into a song of false pride. And then you calling it false pride is what the problem they have with it. So all I can do is share the truth. Of course, y'all ain't gonna like the truth. Well, not y'all, but y'all know who I'm talking about. And we just like the extreme left, right? And the extreme right. Right? The extremists is the ones with the mental health issues that just want to argue. But when we talk about logical reasoning, they're not really keen to that. They rather argue. So when I hear women be like, you don't argue with a woman, I gotta give them the rock eyebrows sometimes. Because you sound like you the one suffering from mental health issues. Because I'm supposed to humble myself before you. I thought I was supposed to humble myself before God. But a lot of y'all are humbling yourselves before false narratives, false, right? or casting judgment on people's faith and religion instead of what the word actually says and how they should be responding to it. I don't see it. Check it out. I'm still with y'all. I'm saying trying to set up something real quick. Because they're gonna push the narrative on this young lady, trying to get her thing up. Right? I'm gonna share her real quick. A purpose-driven wife, right? She's blessed, right? Way to go, ma. And Turn that down a little bit. Turn this up a little bit. And I'm going to share versUS. Check her page out. I'm subscribed. A purpose-driven wife. 2.2 thousand subscribers. But of course, she's going to have a hard time getting subscribers because most women, we're told, are Democrats. And since she's clearly a Christian woman, and she's seeing the narrative between Biden and Trump, and she points out, like, yo, we see Biden talking about the religion, holding that religion dear, but then, I mean, contradict himself in the very next sentence. Like, you know what I mean? We can't oppress, like, we're not oppressing them. We can't exclude, we're not excluding them. Actually, they're the ones excluding our God, who art in heaven, our Father.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Trista, and let's get into this. I had a lot of opinions about Trump, and there was this one particular time where Trump mentioned Jesus Christ. And I shared it at the time. I had a blog, and I shared that video on my blog.
Masks, no masks, everything, you can do all you want, but you know, you still need help from the boss. We need help from the boss. That's what happened. We need help. Yeah, we need help. It's all right to say. Now, they'll criticize me for that. How dare he say that? How dare he say that? No, I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. Somebody said to me the other day, "You're the most famous person in the world by far." I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." They said, "Yes, you are." I said, "No." They said, "Who's more famous?" I said, "Jesus Christ." I'm not taking any chances. I'm not going to have it on. Hey, I'm not having any arguments. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to take any chances. I'll give it, I guarantee.
Page at the time, and when I stated that, wow, we have a president that mentioned Jesus Christ or accepted Jesus Christ, which is an awesome thing. Like anybody or any Christian would be happy about that. I got so much backlash from that, where people stopped following me. I had people tell me that Donald Trump was racist and he was this and that, and so many allegations against him. And I thought, well, maybe these people know a lot more than I did when it came to Donald Trump, because I was hearing that in the news, but I wasn't too much into politics at the time. I was just hearing things here and there when it came to Donald Trump. So in the year 2018, my family and I were living in North Carolina. So we lived in North Carolina for about 2016 to 2022. And in 2018, Florence hit North Carolina, and it was very bad. It destroyed a lot of houses, and during that storm, and it was very expensive to repair the hotel. The church that I was a part of came together, neighbors, and get everybody situated. And that's when we heard that Donald Trump was actually coming to the church that I was attending. And so when he came, we had like destroyed during the storm. And so we had a lot of meals and people going out and helping people's homes and different things like that. And so I was actually embarrassed, okay? I was embarrassed that Donald Trump came to the area, and I was actually talking to a friend, and we were talking about it. And we were just like, I don't know if I should, share a president coming over to see how my town is and help. Do you understand the type of thinking that entails? Like, what type of thinking is that? I'm embarrassed. But I'm embarrassed that the president came to my town to help out and see what he could do to help the town that was hit by a storm. I was embarrassed to share that on social media, okay? Now, I was embarrassed because, again, it was the allegations that were at the time that were being talked about Donald Trump. A storm hit our town, and our town just had so much damage that the president came down to see how he can help rebuild our town. And so, again, I did not have a president that was that involved that closely with me. And so, again, you know, I'm sharing this story because, again, I was not into politics.
It's not about, well, it is, but religion, politics, even science, right? There has to be some kind of logical equivalence in the two, and it's not really necessarily psychology, sociology, philosophy. That's where we get kind of messed up on the argument. Like, instead of in logical reasoning, we're being attacked by non-believers, right? That's why I've honestly shared it over and over again. Here's Oprah Winfrey, right, hugged up with Trump, and all she got to do is say, no, he's not a racist, because we're still good friends. That's all she got to say. But she's not going to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be breaking her her somewhat code, whatever. And that's the hypocrisy that's going on, you know. TD Hip Hop Media TD Media Group. He had to change his name from TD Hip Hop because the Democrats have made hip hop into such a negative connotation, a negative word, that me growing up as a hip hopper, like me and my son, we talk about it all the time. Hip hop is an American culture created by us, the children of the 1960 civil rights movement. Now that doesn't, even if I mention John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Robert F. Kennedy as being the four martyrs, as Professor Penn stated, we're already going to be classified as conspiracy theorists, because now you're blaming the government for allowing these Americans, not protecting them from whoever it was, right? We're not protected. If they weren't protected, we're not protected. And the same thing's going on right now with us just being able to speak. So there's a lot of men that want to speak against these gag orders that Biden got us going through. How the judicial, the Department of Justice is attacking us. How we go to these jobs and we're discriminated against. And you go to these jobs and it's a lot of immigrants. I don't know if they're legal or illegal. It's not really, it's I'm here as an American to welcome them and to help them learn the language, help them learn how to, so, but I see in a lot of the situations when I'm in these places that they're looking at me like you're working too hard. And I'm not really even working too hard, right? I'm just, enjoying the day, get it done, go home, get some pay, go home. And then they're the ones collectively going against you, having to get out of there. And you see a lot of American men being fired for whatever they want. They can say productivity. They can say you was late 3 times in a row. They can say that because you're making too much. And the only compensation you get is 6 weeks of unemployment. And then even then it's you can't work, as soon as you try to compensate by doing like a little side job, like with one of these gig apps, or then they'll use that against you. Like, well, that's a job. even though it's still hard to make ends meet with just that. And the hypocrisy of Biden saying that the unemployment rate is doing great is like, nah, we hustling the best we can by what y'all offering. But there's way more people that's unemployed from traditional unemployment because of how you're running these gig apps that Obama started. We know who started it, right? And it's the same with the LGBT, this being False Pride Month. This is supposed to be the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man month, right? Father's Day is supposed to be coming up. Right? We're supposed to be celebrating that. Even if they want to throw us a cookie with Juneteenth, right? We still going to celebrate 4th of July, right? But now we got Black Lives Matter. Like, you celebrate the 4th of July, like seriously, like they don't even listen to Public Enemy. That's the funny part. That's why I look at Chuck D out the corner of my eyes, like, hey, you Black Lives Matter. But I love Chuck D, but me saying that he's the president of the Hip Hop Alliance has a negative connotation to those that don't want to see fatherhood in prominent positions and working together with brotherhood, because those are patriarchal practices and it has to be inclusive. It has to be more diverse. Instead of freedom, justice, equality, they want us to be diversity, equity, inclusion. So Black nationalism is worse than white nationalism. Today it's called anti-Black racism and anti-white racism. That's all they're doing is changing the colloquialism, changing the narrative, changing the definition of the words. That's all they're doing. So, TD Hip Hop, check him out. Here's another one.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? We're here, we're live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. This is going to be a very quick one. I got to knock this one out fast in about 20 minutes. So let's get into it, man. If you can see and hear me clearly, first and foremost, as normal, please hit the 1 if you can see and hear me clearly. And while I'm waiting for the ones to come in, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, because that's the most important thing you do for this channel. What it does is that it helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get their notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to this channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And
what does that ghost watching mean? That means that you can go incognito, watch his video, and he doesn't get any credit for it. Like, there's a lot of people that do that, right? They know who he is. He got 58,000 views, so he's doing good. He has 95,000 subscribers. So if he's grown, I'm kind of new to his page. Maybe even the past 2 years I've been watching TD Hip Hop Media Group. But I was there to experience him change the name in order to really try to take it to another level. And he's trying to start his own group and be independent of YouTube, his own channels. So I'm starting to put my stuff together, and hopefully I can maybe audition what I'm putting together for his channel one day, or whatever, however we want to do it. We're trying to build a quote unquote Black networking media, something where we're bringing y'all the truth. It's not hate towards political policies. Well, yeah, it is hate towards political policies. Let me get that straight. But we have to first recognize that that's what the LGBTQIA plus Black Lives Matter is. It's a political ideology created by Barack Obama, and now Biden's doing nothing more but reinforcing it. Even Trump was playing YMCA in the Bronx, which was kind of disrespectful. But he did, of course he's going to get 2 local drill rappers to endorse him, because KRS-One is not going to do it. All right. It'd have been so dope if he had the South Bronx playing, but no, KRS-One is suing for doing that. And I don't blame Chris for suing him for doing that, you know. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is.
Lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends and inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does also help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm also. And now that I can see that you can all see and hear me clearly, let's get into today's show. Like I said, this is definitely going to be a quick one. And I believe the name is Ishki. I know I'm saying your name right, Jenkins. Say what now? Yeah. What you read in the title is true. What you read in the title of today's video is definitely true. Sunny Huston or Houston, however you say her last name, of The View, she pretty much, I'd say pretty much literally, and I'm going to play the video for you, said that, you know, black women are going to make black men vote for Biden. You're going to make them do it. Here's something that's really interesting. You know, I want to say I didn't start hearing the rhetoric of and seeing the tactic of the Democrat Party holding up the black woman as kind of a golden calf to be worshipped until 2016, right? They weaponized black women against black men to shame black men into voting Democrat. Like I said, this is something that I only started noticing past 2016 upon Donald Trump winning the election. And
that's because Barack already had the black man's vote. We were willing to vote for him out of spite.
And from my understanding, from my recollection, from what I remember hearing, one of the complaints as to why Hillary Clinton lost the 2016 election, and obviously there's a number of reasons why, right? It's not just black people's fault. But, you know, one of the reasons why that I would hear over and over again is because black voter turnout was very low, and noticeably black male turnout was significantly low. Black women turnout was low as well, but the black male voter turnout was very low. And it's from that moment on, from 2016 up until the present day, right? From 2016 up until the present day, that you started hearing rhetoric like black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Black women are going to save America again. I heard that a lot going into the 2020 election. Black women are tired. These are all terms and kind of rhetoric that you only hear coming from the DNC side of politics that you didn't hear, or at least I didn't. Maybe if you all did, you can tell me different. But I didn't start hearing this until Trump won in 2016, like I said, and many speak on him winning because of the low black voter turnout, significantly, and there was a significant amount of black men that did not show up. So since then, as a tactic to get black men to show up, the DNC has weaponized the black female voice and has propped her up in mainstream media spaces to consistently and constantly wag her finger at black men and shame them into voting. I wish I had the video prepared for you right now of this first example I'm going to give. I don't, but many of you should remember this. Let me know in the live chat and let me know in the comment section if you're watching a replay of this video, how many of you all remember in the 2020 election when I believe it was Maxine Waters who got on one of those Sunday morning news shows or something like that, or MSNBC or CNN, and she went off on just a tirade about how she'll never forgive black men if they don't show up, and she'll never forgive black men if they vote for Biden. How many of you all remember that? You remember that, or is it just me? Maxine Waters went off just wagging her finger at black men about, you better show up and vote for Biden. If you don't, I'll never forgive you. And this rhetoric is pretty normal. Many of you remember the stream that I did about on MSNBC a few months back when, who was it, Simone Sanders, she had a co-host who was some black man who was taking.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it right there, right? Go do his page. Check him out. You know what I mean? I shared more than enough. Good dude. It's just that, you know, the algorithm has him down as being a Russian bot, that he's not real. Why? Because he's kind of leaning to, you know, not vote for Biden. All right? He's leaning for not voting for Biden. And, you know, that means that you're voting for Trump. You know what I mean? 2016, I voted for Jill Stein, right? 2016, I voted for Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka, right? And I was told that was like voting for Trump. Even though Jill Stein, it was just, hey, nah, I got it, right? And I think I took a hit for doing that from Black women. Let's keep it 100. There's no reason to lie about it. So when 2020 hit, and I was already in the mode of, no, I'm not voting for Biden, right? Trump didn't do anything to hurt me, right? I found myself in the middle of a pandemic, right? My store was doing good numbers. Right? Yeah, I was one of the few things that was able to be open. So yeah, that kind of inflated my store numbers a little bit. And I'm quote unquote risking my life to go out there in COVID and there's only one or two things open. And I remember one I went to this place and got a nice little breakfast sandwich. And it was like, they were so appreciative that somebody came in to buy a sandwich that the guy gave me a free glass of orange juice. Like, yo, get that vitamin C up. Like, yeah, that's actually what we need to, fight the plague, quote unquote. And so I should be considered a hero at the end of 2020, but instead I was treated like I was the villain because I wouldn't support the Democrats' push for Biden. I donated cash, right? That was my way of voting in 2020, was donating cash to what's the Hawaiian I forget her name right now. It's only $5. But let me see if I can share some of her, and then I'm out. I think I got that in Tulsi Gabbard, right?
Daphne here has final.
I got Tulsi Gabbard on here too. I ain't want to play the commercial, and then I'm out. I ain't got time to be getting on y'all blindly supporting Democrats because y'all just got hate for Trump in your heart. That's hate in your heart because Oprah Winfrey saying that he's a racist, even though we got pictures of Oprah and Donald being buddy, friend, right? So it is what it is. And all she got to do is say, yeah, me and Donald are friends. And she kills the whole narrative of this whole worse than Archie Bunker bigotry, right? Tulsi Gabbard here. Tulsi has 500,000 subscribers. I'm subscribed. She has a book called For Love of Country. So everybody's pushing their books. I got a couple books, but I'm not selling them through. I'm selling direct to you. Publishing and all that this is my way of cutting out the middleman, right? So I take donations, $VOLOTHAMP. I'll share that again one day. Send me $1, whatever you can spare, whatever. I got a limit of 1,000, right? Because I'm not, my business is just growing, right? But all that can help me buy a microphone so that I can come out clearer for you, right? Whatever, right? I'll do an extra video just for you. I'll let you come on to the platform and rap. We can rap about these things. But this is Tulsi Gabbard here, and like I said, I donated $5 to her back in 2020 when she was the only competition to Biden.
About what happened in that New York courtroom today with Donald Trump. I think it's important that we take a step back and really look at what are the very serious consequences that have come from this, that extend far beyond this specific case, these charges, this verdict, and even Donald Trump. What we are seeing here should be a wake-up call to every American, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless about how you feel about President Trump or President Biden. What has happened is President Biden has turned our country into a banana republic, a country where those in power are using the law, the rule of law, and our justice system and law enforcement to persecute their political opponents. Now, this isn't something that is only happening to Donald Trump. The consequences of this apply to every one of us, because as we see this new norm and new precedent being set, how can we as Americans feel safe and feel emboldened in challenging political authorities in our own country when we know that they can use the power of law enforcement to go after us, to go after their political opponents, to go after people who have the courage and the audacity to challenge their authority? That is what is at stake here. The foundation for the success of our democratic republic is that we as Americans, we the people, have faith and trust in the rule of law. We must have this confidence that we will all be treated fairly under the law, regardless of our political affiliation or views, regardless of our race or religion, regardless of anything, any of these other affiliations or circumstances, that we will all be treated equally. That foundation of our democracy has been destroyed by the Biden-Harris administration. Make no mistake about how serious this is to you and me and to the future of our ability to live in a free society. They have done this through their personal political persecution of Donald Trump. If we allow this to stand, it'll forever be destroyed and our country will be finished if it's not reversed, and reversed quickly. So how do we do that? The only way is if every one of us as Americans, regardless of whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or independent or libertarian, when every one of us as Americans makes that decision, that there is nothing more important than freedom. There is nothing more important than protecting our democratic republic, than defending our Constitution, than upholding the rule of law and saving our country. We must hold those accountable. We must hold President Biden and his administration accountable by punishing them and other politicians who dare to put their own desire for power in a higher place of importance than our freedom, our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our rule of law, our democratic republic.
Now, she said Democratic Republic a couple times there, right? And when did we become a Democratic Republic is the main question. I think that's when we have to go back in time, and what me and my son have been doing has been going over how did George Washington become the first president? What political party did he become a part of? Some say unaffiliated. Some say he was the first Federalist. I say he was the first, not nationalist, the first independence. He's the result of the Declaration of Independence. He's the result of them coming together to, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build this Constitution. We need a president. And they voted on him being the first president of the United States of America. And began the drafting of our Constitution as we know it. His vice president was John Adams. So John Adams and Samuel Adams used to reason, debate, right? Some would say argue, but it was the logical reasoning of why George Washington is the first president. I'm the first vice president. All right, cool. Now he becomes, after George Washington served his, it was 8 years. I'm not even sure. But after George Washington, then John Adams. John Adams' vice president was Thomas Jefferson. So naturally, Thomas Jefferson became the third president. Thomas Jefferson, after John Adams was, hey, we're Federalists against our old, Britain or whatever, right? We're the ones that seek independence from Britain. Now it's Thomas Jefferson, and he became the first Republican. Then they started building democracy, democratic. What does it mean? Meaning does his vice president become the next president? No, we have to vote on it. We have to give the people the right to vote. What makes citizenship what it is? How does the people decide? How do we go about this process of us debating, sharing the knowledge, wisdom of what we're trying to achieve for our citizens to become the next president of the United States? This is what they were building. So between Thomas Jefferson and then all the way to Abraham Lincoln, yeah, you had different political ideologies, but mostly it was Democratic Republic. The Uni Party. That's what she's mentioning there. It's supposed to be a Democratic Republic. So for the Democrats to say that if we don't get elected, that's the end of democracy, is the biggest lie being told to you. Stop letting them lie to you. Stop letting them cheat you out of freedom, justice, and equality by forcing you to be diversity, equity, inclusion. Just because it's Father's Day doesn't mean that you should be hating your gay son, right? That's what they do. It's like, nah, my son is being taught not to be humble to another man. The only entity that he should be humble to is if he looks up in the sky and he sees the moon getting close, like it's about to smash into the side of the earth. That's an act of God. That's the only entity we're supposed to be humble to, not another man. So if it's not another man, then it definitely ain't another woman, right? We honor the wife, right? We honor the children. That's what men are supposed to do. But you got these locals telling you to humble yourself to false pride. Hypocrites. That includes you if you already tuned it up. But if you like what I'm saying, hit the like button, subscribe, share. I'll be back with more. I did an hour for y'all. That's a freestyle for you. I'm gonna draw some more mathematical skills on here too. That way, I keep in mind what Akil want me to do. Is like, Akil, Mr. Parker, Professor Parker, I like to call him Professor X. I'm going to do more game theory. I'm going to do more drawings, and I'm going to write it into a keynote address, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to share what a one-to-one function, an injective function is, and it's like, well, but as soon as I say Eric B. and Rakim, it's like, that's two people, so you can't. That's not a one-to-one function of him being number one. Like, no, you're not understanding. We used to be crews. We used to be groups. So it wasn't just Big Daddy Kane. It was Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Master Ace. You see what I'm saying? Craig G, Roxanne Shante, and I'm gonna stop forgetting my man's name here. MC Shan. And Bismarck. You can't forget Bismarck either. That's the Juice Crew. That's number 2. I see them as equals. They the ones that started that whole. That's what Wu-Tang first looked at. I was like, oh, what about them Juice Crew over there? We trying to be like them, right? That's how ODB became like. I like that Bismarck. Ain't no father to my style. I'm the ODB, right? That's what you guys said. So I see them all as the maybe 6 or 7. We'll figure it out. but I'm doing this order as a meaning of one. It's still a one-to-one function, even though I'm looking at them as crews. EPMD was number 3, and that includes Reggie Noble, K Solo. I can't forget about K Solo. When he said SPELL, like that's my joint right there. Keith Murray, and who else we used to hang out with them all the time. And then Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. I mean, you can include it. You can technically include LL Cool J in that and Run DMC in that one right there, because that was the one of the first mergers of group was, and then Ricky D being the young MC from Britain, right? And then Boogie Down Production. You know what KRS One, especially once he became his own name and got with Premier and Guru and them, right? And then they just took it the whole. That's when Boom Bap, the Return of the Boom Bap came out, right? That was the next level right there. So I mean that's hip hop 101 right there. And I just broke the hour mark. I'm gonna send this one to YouTube in a little bit. I do want to do a little nice little picture on the front of it, but yeah, like I said, we've been doing that. We've been doing Rakim, and we'll do it one more time to end this episode. Right, knowledge should begin until I finish this song, cause the rhyme gets rougher as the rhyme goes on. Sweat as you step about to get hype, or should you just listen to the man on the mic? You're physically here with me, but how could you tell if it's meant to be hip hop if you're not mentally as well, right? There it is, right? Be hip hop. Somebody asked me, are you hip hop? Yes, I am. One God, our Father, the art of time, heaven your order, mother's awareness, nature.